bit more. Yeah. Hello, hello, hello. I'm back and I have done a bit more at my code. Well, this doesn't. Yeah. Okay. So I have finished the seam on my, I believe, left front piece. So center front, middle front piece. And this here is my right side, I believe. It's right side. So it should go here. So it's nearly finished and let's start sewing. So it's just about, I don't know how many centimeters. It's just about 37. So I should do this in an hour. Oh, and I have forgotten to close the door, and I will be back in a second. So, oops, sorry for that noise. Okay, so yeah, door is closed. Let's start sewing. So, okay. And I've tried here another angle of my camera. You can see the camera now in the small picture, which comes from my webcam. But I think this angle will show a bit better what I am doing. And although the picture is, I guess, well, we will see. We will see. So, let's grab some green thread and thread my needle. Yeah, I know I said in my last stream that I would change my needle or should change my needle, but I had such a good go and I thought, okay, I guess it doesn't matter how much more I am stitching with this needle, and I need my thimble. So, okay, ready to start. So, oh no, not there. Here is my end. So, and as before, this few stitches in the beginning are a bit fiddly because I am securing the end directly, so okay. I'm not sure if the new camera angle helps. We will see. Three. And again, we are having a very foggy day today. And it's the light in this room, although it's the sunroom, is well, I guess it's enough to sew a bit. So yeah, I guess that's enough. Let's start actually sew, and that will be a bit quicker. So since Wednesday we had some issues with our water supplier. We had brown tap water, so we needed to buy water at the stores. What we normally don't do, so it was really, well, it was not, it tasted a bit strange, my kids said. If you reheat for tea bottled water, it tastes different than if you're used to your tap water. And well, but that's not the point. The point, what we found out, was we had a lot more trash. So many empty plastic bottles. So that was wow. Normally we only drink tea, peppermint tea and black tea and rooibos tea, and that saves us a lot of trash. So buying all these plastic bottles for us is not an option. Well, if it would have been a system like in the Netherlands or in Germany, where you bring back the empty bottles to the store, I guess we wouldn't have seen this, how many trash it would be we are producing. But now that was a lot. Although we crunched the bottles, it's a lot of space in our bin. Yeah. But anyway, they finally fixed it, or stopped working at our water supply line, and our water is now good again, and we can go back to normal. So yeah. So my plan is to hand stitch a coat So, because we wanted to buy a nice coat for us all, everyone was looking, oh, they're nice. And, and then we looked at the label inside to find out if it's wool or cotton or whatever material. And although they said, yeah, it's a wool coat, it wasn't. They called it wool coat or woolen coat, although it only had 5% wool inside. And 95% was plastic fiber. And so we came up with the idea to sew our own coat. And and then we had some fights with the sewing machine, and it ended up that everyone was frustrated because it's not that well going. And then Corona happened, and we thought, oh, that is a great idea to start hand stitching, because, well, you were not allowed to go anywhere. And you had to be prepared. And so we started to hand stitch our face masks. And we saw that's a lot of fun. It took ages, really, literally, it took ages. But at the end, everyone in the family had 4 masks and a small bag where the unused fresh wash masks went into, so that you were able to carry them around. And wow. And then we thought, for thousands of years, all the clothes were hand-stitched. Machines were not invented. So the idea grew and grew. And now I'm sitting here with my white mock-up, and I'm stitching it all together and try to find my pattern. But when I calculate all these seams I have to stitch, I thought, well, once I have the pattern ready to work for me, and once I don't have to figure out how long all these pieces and how wide all these pieces have to be, I guess I will not, even if I do not stitch the whole time of the day. I'm not doing this anyway today. Maybe, well, I stitch an hour per stream, and maybe an hour or 2 if I find the time during the day. And that is another thing we came up, because if you don't have a table where your sewing machine can stand on and is ready to go, you always have to put it back on the table, plug it into the plug, and put it into the right place so that you can sew and sew so that your machine is ready to stitch your pieces together, and then the table is needed for other stuff. So if you only have 10 or 20 minutes, then you have half of the time you need for setting up your work table. So I just can grab my piece of fabric, and my needle is always, if I don't need it, secured like so. It's folded, it's nicely folded, and then I only need my my little box for the cutted threads. I need my pin case, and I need some thread, a scissor, and my thimble, and that's all. And that's grabbed in 1 minute, taken with me where I would like to sew, and I'm ready to stitch. And even if I'm only able to stitch 10 minutes or so, that's fine. I can leave it then there and come back, and it's not such a big thing if the space is needed for something else than for me sitting somewhere and sewing. And I can be joined. I can watch a movie with my family, for example. It's not so loud as stitching pieces together with the sewing. That is such a difficult word. With a sewing machine. Yeah. It's, I guess, for a hobby. It's okay. It's well, it doesn't matter how long it takes, because it's a hobby. I love sewing. I love doing things with my hands and come up with something, or end up with something you can wear. It's the same as knitting socks. Knitting socks is, well, there is no good reason for knitting socks, because you can buy socks in the store for a lot less money than one of these colorful sock yarns costs. So but it's a hobby, and if this hobby leads us to not having cold feet in the nights, and especially in winters, in winter nights, so yeah, it doesn't matter how long it takes until I finish a pair of socks by hand. you can buy knitting machines and you can program them and they knit then for you beautiful jumpers. But that's not the point in hand knitting. And if you like to crochet, there's no machine who can crochet. So, this goes like so. Yes, you can use a machine. But it's not the same. And you're producing so much more in that time, and it ends up that that you use so many clothes and maybe you don't need so much or are able to wear them all. So yeah. I'm reading at the moment different books about history of weaving clothes. It's amazing. It's what mankind came up to do all these nice fabrics, to make all these nice fabrics. That's awesome. It's really awesome. Oops, that was my yarn jumping around. So, so the next thing what I have to figure out, because I didn't cut these pieces out of my fabric, I have to figure out my pockets, and I would like to fit at least my mobile phone in this pocket without falling out. And I guess the provided pockets are a bit too small. So I have to first I have to figure out where I would like to have my pockets, because, well, I shortened this pattern a lot, and I guess I have to shorten the skirt part a bit more, because it's a bit too long, I guess. I don't know. I have to see it once I close the shoulder seam. And I just have to stitch the middle front pieces to get to the two front pieces, and then I can stitch the shoulder seams together. So yeah, I guess and then I would loosely pin one front piece to the back piece, and then I will figure out where I am putting my pockets, and then I'll alter these. I change. Guess I will do them. I will make them a bit deeper and a bit wider, because I would like to fit there my mobile, at least. Yeah, I added some twist. I have to find the position. And I think I am a bit quicker than I was in the beginning. Oh. This thread created a loop because I am not putting a knot near my needle in my thread. Because the knot creates a little bit of bulk here, and if it's a bit lower than the head is, it will stuck in my fabric or under my fabric, and it will not come out properly without risking my thread to be damaged. So I stopped putting a knot here at the end of my needle, and that leads me sometimes with a loop, because the needle is now moving. And not holding the center. But I can live with that. At the moment, I'm hoping that the waistline of this mock-up will be close enough to my waistline, because from the paper pattern pieces my waistline was it was somewhere down. Nearly at my hips, and I was like, okay, that is that pattern piece is created for someone with a very, very long body. Not for a short woman. Yeah. Oops. The more the thread is twisted, the higher the chance for loops. So if I remove the twist, I add it to the thread, regular, oopsie, then I guess I will not end up with all these loops. And I have come to the end of my thread, and it's not so much more. Okay, let's finish this thread. Where's my next? Here. No. There. Okay. And I guess only one thread. I'm securing the needle so that I do not lose it. It's 1, 2, okay, nearly a bit more than 3 times of what I am left with. Maybe it's enough. I don't know, because I have never measured this. So my thread on the needle is 3 times of what I have to stitch. So let's see. if this will be, well, I have to leave a bit for securing the end, and I have to leave a bit so that I can secure the thread at the end of my seam. Maybe it's enough because I'm going forward and backwards. We will see. Okay, so I pull it here so that I have a nice seam here, and I'm doing a last stitch like so to weave in this end, and yeah, okay, pulling the end. Okay, let's sew. Let's stitch on. Let's sew on. only 4 pins to be removed. And the seam I have to stitch together is at the length of my thumb. So let's first remove some twist, because yeah, now it's better. So I think it's really, really well. My second front piece is now halfway finished. And only 2 more seams for the middle piece. Oh, I guess I have to put here a second needle, another needle in, so that it doesn't move. Oops. And well, it's done nearly, and that is an awesome feeling. It is awesome, because I really have done it. It's not just only something, well, we were talking about that, yeah, you can hand sew, you don't need a machine, you can hand sew, so hand stitch a coat together and hand stitch a skirt, but not something you are only wearing for something historical. So day-to-day piece of clothing you would like to wear on a daily basis. So that's nothing you can do. So only a few more stitches, I guess. Yeah, 2. And then I will finish this thread, 1 and 2, and not at the end nearly of my seam, but it fits. Well, I don't know if you see it here. So it was quite narrow to the edge. I cut cut out the fabric, and I was like, it's only a mock-up, and second, so let's do another stitch, a last stitch. And second, this will be hidden in, if this would have been the actual coat, this would have been hidden in the seam allowance, so because you have an inner coat and an outer coat, so this will be hidden anyway. So it doesn't matter if this is not fitting good together, but actually it did. So there. So that is it. My seam is now finished. My right front piece, well, at least the middle piece and the center front and the middle front piece are stitched together, and that means I am a little bit closer to my actual coat. My fabric is pre-washed, pre-ironed, and so if I have figured out my pattern pieces, I can directly cut it out. So, okay, where do I put my needle here into my thread ends back. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining me today and taking part in this sewing project. So I will see how this will figure out. So this is the neckline, shoulder. Well, something strange is going on here. It is a bit too long here, and hopefully my side front piece, which goes to here, which will hopefully fit, then the armhole will then fit, and I guess I have to lower this armhole a bit, because this, if I cut it off here, these are 2 centimeters too high. So I think I made a mistake in shortening this piece. Yeah, I will see. So thank you for joining me. I will figure this out over the weekend, and we will see on Monday how this project will go on. So see you then, and bye.